a series all year long, you've never actually faced adversity. Tulsa, the series was over, and then this weekend was different. I guess the response was good, huh?
Yeah, no, the response was really good. It was mature. You know, it was really interesting to watch our team go go through the sweep of Memphis the week before while we were in the midst of finals. You know, I mean, that's people don't realize that kind of stuff. And then you get to the end of championship academic season, right? And so there's always a letdown mentally, and you're hoping it doesn't, you know, go onto the field. And I thought we came out Friday and played really, really well. I thought there was a call at the plate that we could have actually won the ball game on, didn't go our way. Saturday, Wichita hit the ball real well. So it was kind of interesting to see how our guys were going to respond after, you know, getting beat 10-0, you know, because we hadn't been beat like that, you know, all year long. So I remember back, and I told the guys a story about 2012. We went up to Louisville midweek, and we're 6th, 7th in the nation, and Louisville sweeps us on national TV like 7-1, 8-1, right? And I got them all up at 5:45 the next morning to watch the sun come up. You know, I go, look at that, new day, and then we end up going to the World Series. So it was how your team responded. Well, Georgina basically told me after Saturday night's game, she goes, I'm the guy. I said, yes, you are. You know, we ain't got anybody else right now, so you are the guy. But I didn't tell her that. And she came out and threw a gem, you know, and was so cool throughout the whole game. Her and Macy just did a phenomenal job. And then senior, you know, Devitt comes up with a big hit in the first inning, and we hit the ball right at him all day. I just didn't think it was going to be our day offensively because we were smoking balls, and they were just getting caught. And Wichita played a great weekend of defense. They really did. And for us to end up on a good side, and the final day, once again, and winning the conference championship was pretty exhilarating.
Considering the adversity she's encountered throughout her career, what would you like Liam Fung's legacy to be here?
Well, I think she's already done it. I mean, you know, there's a guy that everybody looks at and goes, well, she just is relentless. She keeps coming back, and nothing bothers her, you know. And, you know, you take a look and you think right now, because it was her arm, you know, that she broke in Arizona, you know, she's still got 2 bad wheels. Yeah. You know, people don't realize that. So it's, you know, she's played some really key roles for us the past couple of weeks here, you know, being in pinch running situations, but, you know, she's not 100% by any stretch of imagination. So what you see is just a complete heart that goes out there. You know, she's one of those guys that never had torn heartlage, you know, before. She's always answered the bell. She's just a guy that just wants to play and contribute in any capacity she can for our team. So I think she's already set that legacy. It's a great story. There's no question about it.
Do you have anyone who could catch in a pinch behind Macy?
I just ask every one of our guys. I mean, it's amazing right now. You know, first of all, Ledbetter gave us a break in tournament time, you know, and Aubrey is a really good catcher. It just so happens that Macy's a stalwart back there. You know, you have that type of deal, but to have Ledbetter as your insurance policy that can actually play pretty well is a bonus to have. And then BK thinks she can catch, you know, and Devitt thinks she can catch. Corrick thinks she can catch. They all think they can pitch too, you know, and so you just humor them and go, yeah, it's okay, don't worry. But if we had to, we could get anybody back there, yeah.
This is kind of a quicker turnaround because I might have heard you guys got in pretty late the other day, and now you got to get back out there. It's a quick switch you got to flip.
It is. It's the postseason, you know. So I mean, if you think about all the runs that we've had, and a lot of you've been around, where all of a sudden the season ends and then you're in the College World Series, or the season ends, you're in the Super Regionals. It's like bang, bang, bang. There is no time, and thank goodness for us that school is over. You know, some of these other school programs, the school's still going on, and they're going to be in finals as it comes up. So for us, this is the fun time. And I remember playing as an athlete and getting to the postseason for the first time at USF in 1982 as a baseball team, and it was great because the last 4 or 5 weeks there was no school, so it was all ball. So it was almost like the minor leagues that you were going on. So right now these guys are experiencing what a national team schedule is or a pro schedule is. It's go, 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 and you know, because we're going to be on the road, that's just the way it is. It's even quicker turnarounds of fly home, get out, fly home, get out. So it's par for the course.
Such a long grind. How exciting is this time of the year for you and the girls? I mean, it just must be waiting for it for so long.
Yeah, you know, here's where we've had the benefit of. If you ask our guys right now what's next, they're going to tell you practice and then dinner. Okay, they're not going to even to think about, you know, Memphis on Thursday, you know, at this point. So they've done a nice job of compartmentalizing their life. They've done a nice job of compartmentalizing their schedule. And if you approach it with that type of maturity, then you don't have the extra worries of looking ahead. And I think that was the key to us winning Sunday. You know, was not worried about, you know, what's going to happen afterwards, not what's going to worry what happened before. It's let's just take care of business right now, and we've done a nice job of that. So some of the rhetoric is sinking in.
And on that same note, winning the conference, always your first goal when you start the season. So it's nice that you were able to accomplish that because you didn't look ahead as well.
You know, if I told you this, and I don't mean to trample over your question, right? The goal is not winning the conference. Okay. The end result is to get to Oklahoma City and win. And if we win the conference along the way, and we win a conference championship at a tournament along the way, and if we go out to Arizona, we beat them there. If we do all these type of things along the way, that's what we're setting up for. So when we come to practice the first day, and I wish you guys could all be there, the end point that we talk about is getting to where we want to be. And along the way in the climb to that mountain, we might accomplish those things, but we're not going to let falling down off a little bit of a ledge stop us from continuing to climb to the top. And it sounds like coach speak, but it's not. We don't set up our schedule to win a conference. We set up our schedule to win a national championship, and that's the only way I know how. You know, so all the other things along the way is great bonus as we go.
What's the most significant step Corrick has taken from this time last year to now?
You know, in that age group between 17 and 21, 18 and 22, in the player development, you have to have some pretty good mentors and teachers. These guys, our pitching staff is really, really lucky to have Jess Moore, you know, and even have somebody like Laura Ricciardoni, who also was a pitcher, right, that can lend the nuances of the game. But to have somebody like Coach Moore, who's pitched against the best in the world, and to give George those little nuances, as George has thrown against the best in the world also, right? But there's an age difference of about, 7 years.
Right.
So if you can lend yourself to the experience, digest the experience, see it come to fruition, you got to have the tools, you got to have the talent. Okay, you can talk all you want, but if you don't have the tools and the talent that Georgina has, it's not going to come. But to have that combination is nothing short of phenomenal opportunity. And look, let's all think about this too. Going into the season, everybody knows you have Georgina Corrick. Okay, the middle sweep, the 15 straight in the middle, Nicole Doyle. Okay, so I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. But if we don't get Nicole Doyle to do what she does in those 15 straight, holy smokes, we're not the conference champions. We're not the RPI top, 29, 30. So Coach Moore did a phenomenal job with that staff. There's no doubt about it. It made George better.
When you get to postseason play as a 1-2 punch, like you just said, a prerequisite, you got to have two?
Yeah, you got to have 2-3. You got a long postseason. And to try to put it on one arm, sometimes 3 days in a row, to put it on one arm 3 weeks in a row is really, really difficult. And, the run we had in 12, you had Nevins, you had Lindsey Richardson, you had Sam Greiner, you had those guys. And even when we had the teams that won the three-peat situation in the ACC, 96, 97, 98, you had Shriner, you had Jennifer Thompson, and you had Christina Bacone. So you had three that were going at it pretty good. In 2003-04, you had Leanne Ellis. And so for us just to do it with one arm that year was incredible, but that was a phenomenal athlete. But the hitters now are so much better, really, really better. So you have to have the variables of the staff, where you have to have a guy that has the swing and miss changeup, and that's what George has. So, it's a whole bunch of combinations right now.
What time did you wake up yesterday?
Oh, what time did I wake up? Actually not that late, probably like 10.
Oh, okay.
10 o'clock. Yeah, I didn't go to bed till like 4.
Yeah.
But
You're right there with baseball now.
life of a student athlete, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken was saying a long time ago when there was a key series that they lost, he got the team up at 5:45 the next morning to watch the sun rise. But what did he do with you guys after you lost the first 2 games, and how did you guys regroup? Because you really regrouped.
This past weekend at Wichita, he kind of just basically was like, look how far you guys come. Like, he kind of like really focused on our successes, that what we have like overcame, like the 1-5 start that we did the first series. Though we lost the first series against Tulsa, and kind of our win streak kind of have focused on like what we have done and like the adversity that we have already overcame. So he kind of just reminded us on that, and like really made us focus on like what we can do, and kind of pulled us aside and was like, look, like I'm proud of you guys, like for even what you guys overcame, like but you're not done, like you're gonna get this game. And kind of we like rallied, we focused, and then we just wanted to get that game for like our team, for each other. So kind of just confidence, I guess.
Usually when it comes to exciting defensive plays, it's left side of the infield, it's the outfield, rarely the first baseman. How do you keep sharp? And it's a pretty good day for you.
I don't know. I think kind of sometimes like defense wins championships, so like I really kind of focus on my craft at practice, and I don't know. I really like taking each pitch like seriously, and just like even at practice and batting practice, kind of taking him live off of like batting practice and playing in the positions that I would play in a game and kind of getting my reps in that way. And I kind of just like been practicing it since I was younger, and it just kind of just comes natural, I guess. And in crucial games like that, like that's when the work really shows.
Yeah, but what about that slick, whatever that was? The one
Me
No,
falling?
Yeah, you falling. Sorry,
Yeah, so like I was going on the sideline, foul ball. If you didn't watch the game, like I was going back, and then there was like really like the warning track by the dugout was really slippery, and I guess like I went to like slow myself down because I thought I was gonna maybe overrun the ball. So when I slowed down, I slipped, but like I never left my eyes off the ball, so I was able to still catch it and stuff like that. So it was really cool. My butt hurts, but it's okay.
Considering all that she's been through, not just this year, but her career, what impresses you the most about Mia?
Every day she shows up. She shows up with a smile on her face, and she's gonna be the best teammate possible. I could not imagine how she feels to be in her shoes and everything like that. 2 ACLs, a broken forearm. That girl's a warrior, and that girl's a fighter, and we're lucky to have her on our team. Day in and day out, she shows up with a smile on her face, and the work, and weights, and treatment, and practice, doing what she can to still provide for the team. Without even being on there, but now, hey, she pinch runs, so it's really cool to see the hard work that she put in really pay off right now.
Mentioned earlier about the team focusing on the day at hand and stuff. How much does that help with a tournament like this where you have to stay in the moment the whole time to succeed?
So this one, I mean, it's like you lose one, you're done with the tournament. So I think this one is like you really have to focus on one game at a time. And even though we say our first game's against Memphis, even though we swept Memphis in the regular season, they can easily come out and they want revenge and beat us. So like we can't really continue take what we did in the regular season to the tournament. We have to do one game at a time and like really focus that their like coach says, their scholarships in the other dugout. So they have every potential to beat us, just like we can beat them, and we have to just go out and take one game at a time, and hopefully that gets us a championship.
Probably a tougher conference than you guys make. I mean, listen, to sweep at UCF and Houston,
Yeah.
It's not easy, right? It's a tough league.
Yeah, so the first one we came back was we swept Houston. That was after Tulsa, right? Yeah, so that was like a big, we really needed to get together and kind of just figure out what we could have done differently from Tulsa to Houston, and we had a meeting, and I think that was the best thing that ever happened to us this season. We came together as a family, and we really believed in each other, and it just escalated from there.
How exciting is it to get to this point in the season, coming off a regular season title win?
Oh, I mean, it's so exciting. I know that we did it last year, and it was my year, like my freshman year, so it was really cool to kind of come in here and really set the tone that way, and to have us do that again with 5 straight sweeps. Honestly, this whole conference season has been so exciting, and seeing our team come together and do what we've done has been amazing.
It's going to be a part of the year where you're going to have to make adjustments, obviously. You did from game 1 to game 3 against Wichita. What was it?
It was a lot of personal confidence. I went into the game on Friday, and I was a little unsure. I was a little kind of different, and I know that Wichita kind of had my number a little bit last year, and I think I went in there and I played a little afraid, and it showed, and I gave up the hits that I didn't need to give up. But on Sunday, I came out and I was like, I need to be strong for my team, and I knew that defensively they had my back, offensively they had my back, and I had to go out there and give my best performance. And I felt really happy with how I did, and I went out there and I felt that I did much, much better on Friday, not even just performance-wise, but just believing in myself and believing in my team.
That's a lot of it. I mean, you're not pitching in a lot of blowout games. Do you get to the point now where you're no longer feeling nerves or anything, because it's going to be that way pretty much the rest of the year, I'm sure?
I think I'm actually nervous like 24/7, so I'm always nervous, but it's very nice to have the team that I have behind me, that I'm actually the least nervous I've ever been in my entire life when I step on that field, because I know I can go out there and I have a phenomenal catcher there, Macy, behind me. I've got phenomenal defense that we've had a standout defense this entire year, so I can go out there and I can throw the game that I want to throw, and I know that they've got my back, like as a person, as a teammate, as everything. They're there for me, and that means so much.
To combat those nerves, are you superstitious? Anything you got to wear, eat, do before a game?
Actually, no. People get on my case because they'll have a superstition and they'll get mad at me because they'll be like, you did this on Friday and you did great. Why aren't you doing it again? I was like, I'm tired. I'm not going to do my hair again. I'm just going to throw it up in a bun. It's like, for me, the performance speaks for itself. So I know a lot of people have crazy superstitions, but for me, I go out there and whether my hair looks like this or my hair is really pretty, where I've got makeup on, whether I look like this. But I go out there and I give the best game that I can that day, and I think that's the only thing that I can do.
Let me ask about the physical part, because we're just watching and we don't even think about how tired you get. What's that like? Going long into games, do you get tired? What's it, the soreness level between games? Talk about that part.
I think I'd be redundant to say that I don't get sore. Just like every other person on that team, we're 50-something games into our season. To say that we're not getting tired would be crazy. But we have a phenomenal trainer in CJ. We have great coaches in Coach Jess, Coach Laura, Coach Ken that are making sure we get the rest that we need and that we're getting the recovery. But it really it's kind of a mental game at this point where you go out there and it's whoever wants to win the game more is going to win it. And I think when we get out in the field, you've got 2 hours, 3 hours where you can't let your tiredness, your exhaustion, is exhaustion? Yeah, it's a word. Let it get to you. So I think for us, it really is just preparing for that one time, that one moment in a game where you can't be tired, you have to push through, and being a student athlete is a huge part of that.
What do you think's been the key to your team's success this year?
I don't think you could point a finger to anyone. It's every single one of these girls out on the field. It's the energy coming off of the dugouts. It's the energy that we have on the defense. It's the phenomenal mentalities that we have up to plate, There's not one thing that I think ever wins a single ball game, So it's everyone kind of picking each other up, and whenever someone starts something, it's immediately stepping on top of it, just building and building. But I would say our defense has been a huge part of our success this year. Just the phenomenal plays, even looking at BK at Wichita, she made like 2 phenomenal plays over there at first base that a lot of people, it's easy to kind of forget about, but those are the plays that win ball games,